Recording in progress.
Nice. Recording in progress. Do you want us to clap or something so you can see where we're...
This is a really good plan.
No, that makes...
Yeah, because then you can line us up easy.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll go 3, 2, 1 and we'll have a clap from everyone.
Okay.
Izzy.
Well, that wasn't 3, 2, 1, was it?
Oh, no, just Izzy clap.
3, 2, 1.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting them to be synchronised. Everyone's track's going to have its own clap on it. I'm not recording mine separately. I'm recording mine on Zoom, so...
Well, that's fine. Zoom's really good for recording, so you're fine.
Yeah, this is what I think. Right, we should begin the recording. Oh, hang on, I haven't talked you through everything, have I?
No.
But I think it's all fairly straightforward. I will pause and we can take out any bits that I need to reiterate. However, we're going to be basically sharing an image each, guessing what it is and talking about it. Doug, have I made you a co-host? I have now, so you will be able to share your image.
I didn't feel it, but it's apparently happened.
Oh, and any preference on whose image comes first? Because I don't know what I'm getting from either of you.
Well, let's do it chronologically then, with you deciding which one.
Chronologically, I have no idea what that means. Alphabetically, it means beginning with Doug.
Okay.
So that's probably what we'll do. Right, the recording will begin now. Hello! Today's recording may involve some adult language, some adult content, or it may not. Let's see how the next half hour pans out. PG. That might just mean we're drinking tea. Hello and welcome to Comic Cuts, the panel show. My name's Kev F Sutherland. You might know me as a writer and artist for Beano, Marvel Comics, Oink, Red Dwarf, Viz, Doctor Who, and my graphic novel adaptations of Shakespeare, but you probably don't. My guests today, talking comics, are Iszi Lawrence and Doug Segal.
Hello.
I'll make a bigger noise than that.
Woo-woo! Hello.
Poop, poop.
It's the competition. It's the competition for the most pathetic opening noise we could make. However,
yeah, give it up one time in the house.
That's not what I'm talking about. I am now going to attempt my theme tune. Comic Cuts. We're looking at a panel, and we comprise a panel. There's a few of us, so the panel sees a panel, and we talk about the comics from the panel we've discussed, and we call it Comic Cuts.
You practiced that.
What did you think of that music?
I thought it was amazing.
It was measured.
I've been told it's abysmal and a pain to listen to, especially I would imagine for a bass player. Doug, you play the bass.
I do slap at the bass, yes.
You got a new one. You showed us photos of it. Was it a Rickenbacker?
It is a Rickenbacker 4003, which has been my dream bass since I was 14 years old.
Where did you get it from?
A music shop.
I just wondered whether you might be one of those people who gets it shipped over from America or goes down to Denmark Street.
Oh, I'd love to go to Denmark Street, but there's practically nothing of Denmark Street left anymore. It's all been torn down and built into empty apartments owned by overseas oligarchs. That's
very true. I went last month and I bought some guitar strings just so I could say I'd bought some guitar strings at Denmark Street. But yes, sad.
Final hurrah. Final hurrah.
I have two guests with me today who brought with them a panel from a comic or something close. We're going to see if we can identify it and talk about it. Maybe we and you will learn something about comics we didn't already know, or maybe we'll just show off a bit and have an enjoyable chat. Let's see. Joining me from, actually I don't know what part of the country you're in, Iszi Lawrence. Where are you?
Yes, I'm in Reading, which is suitable for an author, I think. Almost like a mistake. But yes, that's where I am. Deepest, darkest, the Ding in Berkshire. Woohoo. That
works perfectly if we see your voice bubble written down. And Izzy, what should the innocent viewer know about you?
Oh, that I'm a big podcastery, history writery person, and I have read a lot of comic books. I used to grow up, like, this is the truth, right? When I was a kid, my stepdad used to go down the Sunday market and get me old copies of the Beano. So I used to read the Beano from like 1950s and 1960s in the 1990s, which was really sort of like, and I had loads of them, and I was sort of like really kind of, and then my mum threw them all out. But you know, I did read the old, you know, Roger the Dodger and Dennis the Menace, and before I think Walter the Softy, but Walter was called Walter the Softy. I mean, it was really, you know, un-PC. And the Bash Street Kids, there's no girls. It was all boys and that sort of thing. So
wasn't there a token girl? I thought there was a little.
There was later, but not initially. There was.
Really?
Her name's Toots, so she was hardly named in the 2010s.
Well, indeed. But she,
my takeaway from the start of your sentence was, I used to grow up.
I did used to grow up. And then I stopped growing up.
Yeah, thought better of it.
About 9 is when I stopped, but I got bigger still.
Yeah, it's really weird because you're getting bigger. Because I was just hang on, that's ridiculous. I don't want anyone to think that I've interrupted just to say I got bigger too.
Did you?
But because that's also not true. In the last year, Doug, I believe you've actually lost an awful lot of weight.
I've lost an entire Izzy Lawrence, I would imagine. I've lost 7 stone.
Fantastic.
I'm a bit heavier than that, bless you.
Are you?
Yeah, massive.
I'm surprised.
And Doug Segal, what part of the world are you in? Norwich?
I'm near. I'm actually on the borders of Norfolk and Suffolk, in the middle of nowhere. But I'm from East London. As you can tell from my accent, I am genuinely a bona fide Cockney. But when I was getting bigger, I went from speaking like an extra in EastEnders to this, because I worked with posh people for a while. But
you still sound quite common.
Good. It's what I'm aspiring to. But like Izzy, I got into comics because my mum would bring me some back from the market, and like you, they were 50s comics, but they were American comics when they'd come up as ballast in merchant ships, because that's what they did. The ones that had been returned, that hadn't been sold at the stores, they'd bundle them up, and it would just be heavy weights that they could put in the bottom of ships. So they brought them over here and then sold them on like a penny a pack, and so we used to get them really cheap. So I grew up on Fawcett comics were my big thing. The original Captain Marvel. I read all of those, and those must have been early 50s.
I wasn't allowed to do any of the superhero ones. My dad's really into Dan Dare, and I'm not allowed to touch any of it. So to this day, I've not been able to read Dan Dare. I've got to wait for him.
Everyone's just frozen on my screen. And I think that means because I've gone down. Yep, broadband has just gone dead for me and everybody.